Good to have you.
Blake Shelton's Heartbreak, Life After Gwen Stefani. Blake Shelton has long stood as one of the most recognizable and admired voices in country music. A figure who embodies the humor, honesty, and heart of America's heartland. For decades, his larger-than-life personality, easygoing wit, and authentic storytelling have made him both approachable and iconic. Yet, behind the laughter and charm lies a story filled with quiet pain, loss, and the struggle to balance public success with private vulnerability. Shelton's songs have always carried pieces of his truth, but in recent years, the lines between his personal and professional worlds have blurred in ways that revealed a more fragile, human side of the man behind the microphone.
You look out there and they're doing this deal, but with my crowd, with my audience, it's always like...
Beneath the image of the confident country star and television favorite, Shelton has wrestled with self-doubt, heartbreak, and questions about identity that fame alone could never resolve. For fans who have followed him since his early days, this chapter of his life, marked by emotional turmoil and public speculation, has been both heartbreaking and deeply human. The first signs of trouble became visible after the 2025 American Music Awards in Los Angeles, an event meant to celebrate the joy of artistry, but which instead became a flashpoint of controversy. Expectations had been high that Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, his longtime partner and one half of one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, would make a joint appearance. Their relationship had always captivated fans, blending country soul with pop glamour, and many hoped their united presence would reaffirm that their love remained strong. Yet when the red carpet lights began to flash,
double shot of Jim, 'cause everybody at the bar started.
Only Stefani appeared, dazzling in a metallic gown that caught every beam of light. Her smile was confident, but the absence of Shelton spoke louder than words. Within minutes, whispers began to swirl. Social media erupted with theories about his no-show. Had there been an argument, a split, or something more complicated? What began as quiet curiosity quickly exploded into public frenzy. According to reports, Shelton had backed out of their joint performance after discovering last-minute lyric changes that Stefani had made to their duet. For an artist whose work is grounded in sincerity, the idea of singing altered lines that no longer matched his emotional truth felt disingenuous. What was supposed to be a shared artistic moment instead became a silent standoff, and Shelton chose absence over compromise.
I don't even hear that anymore.
I know.
What kind of kiss? A French kiss.
Rumors intensified when Stefani took the stage alone to debut her song No Apology Required, a powerful pop-rock anthem about betrayal, independence, and finding strength after disappointment. The audience couldn't ignore the timing or the lyrics. Many saw the performance as a veiled message about her relationship with Shelton, and the media wasted no time fueling that interpretation. By the time the night ended, the spotlight had shifted from celebration to speculation. Fans who once saw the pair as unbreakable now questioned whether their love story was nearing its final verse. The following days were a whirlwind of online chatter and emotional debate, with fans dissecting every lyric and social media post for hidden meaning. When Shelton finally broke his silence, his message was brief and cryptic, suggesting that sometimes
She ain't my girl. I ain't quite sure.
silence says more than words ever could. The comment only deepened the mystery, leaving the public both concerned and compassionate toward a man they sensed was quietly suffering. As if emotional strain weren't enough, Shelton soon faced a professional setback that cut deep. His highly anticipated album, Backroads and Heartaches, originally scheduled for release in mid-2025, was postponed by his record label. For Shelton, this record was a labor of love, an intimate collection of songs born out of reflection, heartbreak, and personal growth following his departure from The Voice. Every lyric carried traces of his emotional truth, making the project not just another album, but a form of therapy. When the label delayed the release, Fearing it would be overshadowed by the ongoing media drama, Shelton felt stripped of his creative
You've never had a guest on this show that actually genuinely
outlet. Music had always been his refuge, the one place he could channel pain into beauty. And now that sanctuary seemed out of reach. Close friends described him as shaken, disheartened, and lost, as though the one constant in his life had been taken away when he needed it most. Those who know Shelton best have long said that he hides his deepest wounds behind humor. His lighthearted demeanor, the same charm that makes audiences laugh, often conceals a man carrying heavy emotional burdens. The combination of public scrutiny, relationship uncertainty, and creative frustration left him vulnerable in ways that echoed his past heartbreaks. But this time, it felt different. Fans remembered his 2015 divorce from fellow country star Miranda Lambert, an event that played out painfully in the public eye.
And so I thought, how cool, Gwen's here. I had my band work up.
Yet his relationship with Stefani had seemed like redemption, a love story that promised healing and second chances. To see it falter reopened old wounds, reminding him that stability in both love and career can be fragile. Meanwhile, Stefani's decision to remain largely silent after the AMAs only deepened the mystery. Some believed she was protecting their privacy. Others speculated she was preparing to reinvent herself independently, returning to the fiery individuality that had defined her early tragic kingdom days. Whatever the truth, the narrative was shifting. And Shelton, once the center of joyful headlines, now found himself the subject of heartbreak rumors and professional uncertainty. In the wake of the chaos,
I wrote the guys and I was like, I'm gonna miss you today because you spend so much time.
Shelton withdrew to his Oklahoma ranch, a place that had always served as his refuge from fame's noise. There, amid the open fields, quiet mornings, and simple routines, he sought solace. Ranch life allowed him to reconnect with the rhythms of the land, the grounding force that fame could never replace. Friends described him as reflective but resilient, channeling his pain into songwriting. History had shown that Shelton often created his most profound music during his hardest times, transforming sorrow into art that spoke to others. His fans, familiar with this pattern, hoped the silence would soon give way to songs that captured the depth of his experience. Melodies that could once again turn heartbreak into healing. To understand the roots of Shelton's strength,
because of what her life is, she can be that person.
one must look back to where his story began. Born Blake Shelton on June 18, 1976, in Ada, Oklahoma, he was raised in a modest, close-knit household where values like hard work, humor, and perseverance shaped his early life. His mother, Dorothy, owned a beauty salon, while his father, Richard, worked as a car salesman, a man of grit and pragmatism. From his father, Shelton inherited a sense of grounded realism. From his mother, warmth and creativity. Music entered his world early, becoming a form of expression that bridged both sides of his personality. At 12, his uncle taught him to play guitar, unknowingly sparking a lifelong passion. By his mid-teens, Shelton was writing original songs, simple yet emotionally rich reflections of small-town life, love, and loss.
Hey, where's Elmo's water? Come on, Elmo asked for it like 15 minutes ago.
His raw talent earned him the Denbo Diamond Award at 16, a recognition that hinted at the star he would become. But his teenage years were shadowed by tragedy. In 1990, his older brother Richie died in a car accident, a loss that forever shaped his understanding of grief. The pain of that event found its way into his later music, infusing his ballads with emotional depth that could only come from lived heartbreak. At 17, Shelton left Oklahoma for Nashville, determined to make his dream a reality. The transition wasn't easy. Nashville was a city filled with ambitious artists, all chasing the same spotlight. To survive, Shelton took a job at a music publishing company, while continuing to hone his songwriting. His perseverance eventually caught the attention of legendary songwriter Bobby Braddock, who helped him land a contract with Sony in 1997.
She can be a partner like nobody else can be on this.
Though it seemed like a breakthrough, the journey was still uphill. His first major single, I Want to Talk About Me, was reassigned to Toby Keith, who turned it into a hit. A bittersweet reminder of how unpredictable the music industry could be. Yet Shelton refused to quit. In 2001, he finally found his moment with Austin, a heartfelt debut single that captured audiences with its tender storytelling and emotional sincerity. The song spent 5 weeks at #1, marking the arrival of a fresh, authentic voice in country music. Over the next decade, Shelton's career blossomed. His 2011 album Red River Blue propelled him to superstardom, led by the record-breaking single Honey Bee. The song's playful tone, combined with heartfelt tracks like God Gave Me You, solidified his image as both a romantic and a relatable everyman. By then, Shelton was more than just a musician. He had become a symbol of modern country's evolution, blending traditional roots with contemporary appeal. Awards and accolades followed, including the Gene Weed Special Achievement Award in 2013, honoring his impact on both country music and television. Through all this, his connection with fans remained deeply personal. Whether performing in stadiums or joking on The Voice, Shelton projected warmth, humor, and humility, qualities that made him a beloved cultural figure. Yet fame came at a personal cost. Shelton's marriage to Miranda Lambert had once been celebrated as country music's royal union, a pairing of two powerhouse talents. But behind the scenes, the relationship struggled under the pressures of success, distance, and relentless public attention. Their 2015 divorce was a painful, highly public ordeal that left both artists emotionally raw. For Shelton, it became both an ending and a beginning. Out of the heartbreak came his 2016 album, If I'm Honest, a record steeped in vulnerability and self-reflection. Songs like Came Here to Forget and She's Got Away with Words showcased a man confronting loss head-on, using music as a form of therapy. Fans connected with the authenticity, and the album became a cathartic success. It was during this turbulent period that Shelton found an unexpected connection with Gwen Stefani, his fellow coach on The Voice. Their bond, born from mutual heartbreak, surprised the world. Coming from different musical worlds, he from country, she from pop and ska, their chemistry felt improbable yet undeniable. Together, they became one of entertainment's most captivating couples. Their duets, including Nobody But You and Happy Anywhere, captured their affection both musically and emotionally. They seemed to embody the idea of love after loss, a reminder that even the broken-hearted can find joy again. Fans adored their dynamic, which blended playfulness, mutual respect, and authenticity.
Apparently Chris loves John Stamos, go.
For years, Shelton and Stefani stood as proof that opposites could not only attract, but also thrive. But as the years passed, maintaining that connection under the harsh glare of fame proved difficult. Shelton, who found comfort in the quiet of Oklahoma life, often clashed with the fast-paced, spotlight-driven world that surrounded Stefani's career. Their differences, once endearing, slowly became sources of strain. By 2025, that tension reached a breaking point. The American Music Awards controversy merely exposed what had been brewing beneath the surface. Two artists navigating diverging paths. Shelton's decision to step away from the event and Stefani's emotionally charged solo performance symbolized not just artistic disagreement, but emotional distance. When combined with the delay of his album, the weight of the moment became overwhelming. Still, throughout his struggles, one quality has always defined Blake Shelton: resilience. Time and again, he has turned pain into poetry, using music to transform sorrow into something redemptive. Those close to him believe this chapter will be no different. His time on the ranch, though quiet and withdrawn, has reportedly been creative. Friends hint that new material, raw, honest, and deeply reflective, is taking shape. For Shelton, writing isn't merely a profession, it's a way of surviving. Each song becomes both confession and comfort, connecting his story to those of countless fans who have loved, lost, and learned to carry on. Beyond his personal challenges, Shelton's influence on modern country music remains undeniable. He has helped bridge the gap between traditional storytelling and mainstream accessibility, introducing new audiences to a genre that thrives on emotional truth. While purists sometimes criticize his crossover appeal, many recognize that he brought authenticity to the forefront, proving that country music could evolve without losing its soul. Younger artists often cite him as a mentor, someone who balances success with sincerity. Moreover, Shelton's openness about vulnerability has subtly redefined the image of masculinity in country music. Beneath the jokes and rugged persona lies a man unafraid to express heartache, uncertainty, and tenderness. In doing so, he has shown that strength and sensitivity can coexist, inspiring a generation of male artists to embrace emotional honesty in their work. As Blake Shelton faces another turning point, his legacy stands secure. From his humble beginnings in Ada, Oklahoma, to global stardom, he has lived a life filled with triumph, loss, reinvention, and reflection. His story reminds us that fame does not shield anyone from pain, that behind every hit song and smiling interview, there are battles fought in silence. Yet it is precisely this blend of humor and heartache that makes Shelton's journey so compelling. Whether or not he and Stefani reconcile, whether his delayed album finally reaches the world, one truth remains: Shelton's greatest gift is his ability to turn life's rawest emotions into songs that heal others. His music has always been more than entertainment. It's been a lifeline, a way for listeners to feel seen, understood, and less alone amid all the public scrutiny and private heartache. Blake Shelton's story is also one of remarkable self-discovery and personal growth. His journey underscores that success in music, or in life, is rarely a straight path. Each setback, each heartbreak, each postponed opportunity has served not as a deterrent, but as a crucible, refining his artistry and strengthening his character. Even in the most challenging moments, Shelton has demonstrated a profound ability to extract meaning from pain, using it as fuel for creativity rather than allowing it to define or defeat him. The very traits that have made him a beloved performer, his humor, empathy, and honesty, are also the tools by which he navigates life's turbulence. While fans see the polished performances, the awards,
No, I don't know who I would pick. They're all so smart.
and the smiles, it is in quieter moments, strumming a guitar on his Oklahoma ranch, reflecting on life's twists and turns, and contemplating lyrics late into the night, where the depth of his resilience becomes most apparent. Music, for Shelton, is inseparable from life itself. Every chord, every lyric, every melody carries fragments of lived experience, and in doing so, connects him to audiences on an intimate, almost sacred level. This profound connection to his audience is a hallmark of Shelton's career, and it underscores why fans remain deeply invested in both his personal and professional life. They are drawn not merely to his chart-topping hits or his television presence, but to the honesty embedded in his art, the sense that he is speaking not at them, but with them. It is this very transparency, the courage to share vulnerability even when it risks public scrutiny, that distinguishes him from so many others in the industry. Where some celebrities retreat from emotional exposure, Shelton embraces it, recognizing that the truths of heartbreak, love, disappointment, and hope are universal experiences. The moments of uncertainty with Stefani, the frustration over delayed releases, the internal reckoning with fame's impermanence, all of these have the potential to enrich his work in ways that are deeply human and profoundly relatable. In essence, Shelton's trials do not just tell the story of Blake Shelton the man, they tell the story of Blake Shelton the artist, whose creativity is inseparable from the highs and lows of a life lived authentically. Even as the world speculates on the future of his relationship with Gwen Stefani, or wonders when his postponed album might emerge, one constant remains: Shelton's commitment to growth, both personal and artistic. His story reminds us that setbacks are rarely the end of the journey, but rather the groundwork for reinvention. Fans, friends, and collaborators alike continue to witness a man who turns challenge into opportunity, disappointment into songwriting, and silence into reflection. The next chapter, whether defined by new music, personal reconciliation, or a renewed artistic vision, is poised to be as rich and compelling as the life that brought him to this moment. Blake Shelton's legacy is not merely a collection of hits or awards. It is a testament to perseverance, to emotional honesty, and to the enduring power of music to heal, connect, and transform. Whatever the future holds, his ability to transform personal struggle into art ensures that his voice will continue to resonate, not just as a performer, but as a guide, companion, and mirror for anyone navigating the complexity of the human heart.